gentlemen, happy Saturday. Going live, got a topic to talk about today, and I think it's an important topic, right? The reason why I wanted to come on live today and have a discussion with you guys is to tackle this topic with reviewers, watches, trading money for reviews, having watches for gifts, and everything of the sort. Excuse me. So, I was inspired to come on here and talk about this topic today because Mark from Long Island Watch actually put out a video addressing some of the matter and bringing this up in his video and some of his business ideas on how he moves forward with handling reviews and, you know, if paid reviews are something legitimate. But really, this is not a response to that, right? I think that this topic is very important in the community, and it's something that I'm interested to actually have a conversation with you guys about, because I think it's important to have transparency and accountability for doing the reviews. I think that it's important to understand what the community wants out of what they're watching from their favorite reviewers, right? Like, I'm a content creator, obviously, for watches. Sorry about the noise, guys. I'm a content creator for watch reviews, watch content in general. You guys know that I do more than just reviews. I do, you know, watch builds and stuff like that, but a bulk of the stuff that I put out there is actually watch reviews. And, you know, I'm coming from a perspective of the new kid on the block, right? My channel is one of the smaller ones that are doing it. I started less than a year ago. So I wanted to just talk about my personal experiences and my personal opinions, but I want to make things clear that I did bring up that Mark made that video earlier. This is in no fashion a response to that video. It's more of, he brought up a good subject, something in the community that I think that we need to have a conversation about. This way, everything is out on the table, and maybe we can come to a solution. Maybe we can come to checks and balances to such a thing. So like that, you know, what you see on the reviews isn't so much quote unquote corrupt. So I think it's important, you know, to have that conversation. So let me give you guys the whole story behind me as a watch reviewer, okay? So you want to come on here, you want to talk watches, you want to put watch content out, and obviously you're going to need watches to do that. Now, if you're an enthusiast like I am first, you already have watches in your collection. So you have the option of reviewing the watches that you have there, right? You can start from that point, but eventually you're going to have relationships with other brands to either let you borrow, or sometimes they gift you watches, depending on what the scenario is. And sometimes, obviously, there are paid reviews depending on the size of your channel, right? So what I want to do is I want to give you guys just what my experience is and what my approach is and where my headspace is in my perspective, because I understand that whatever I say here is not going to really reflect and kind of be the same experience for every reviewer doing it. Dima, hi. So it's gonna look a little different, right? So if somebody comes on as a content creator for watches and they're doing this full time, it's a little different. They have a little bit more invested in making this a business for them. Therefore, there's more of a call to make money, right? I can't speak on that because that's not what I'm doing for this. I have a daytime job. That's never going to change. I do this as a passion project. I used to say I do this as a hobby, which technically it is, but it's more of a passion project, right? And if I were to be in the position of making money, whether it be monetized or, you know, that's pretty much the only revenue that I'm going to look to get. And if I do get that, I'm going to reinvest it into the channel, right? Because the channel, when you want to become a content creator for watches, is going to cost money eventually, because you're going to need to get your hands on it. And or if you build enough relationships out there, there are brands that will let you borrow watches and you don't have to pay for it. Mark said in his video that he pays for the shipping label, right? Because everything is a cost, right? If you do, you know, if you do 10 watches and they're $20 each to ship back, everything adds up. So the fact that the way Mark from Island Watch does reviews, if he had done them in the past, is that he pays for the shipping label. You borrow the watch, you do the review, he pays for it to get sent back out, which I think is, that for me is, I'm more than happy as a content creator to step into that kind of collaboration or acceptance of, you know, whatever the case may be, because now I'm getting my hands on the watch, right? I'm able to touch and feel, I'm able to give you guys my honest opinion about it, and then the watch goes back. And I think that's fair game, because without the watches, you really don't have much to talk about, right? So if you're offered that as a content creator, or as somebody in my position, and you turn that down and you say, no, look, I'd rather keep the watch, or I'd rather get paid for my time, or whatever the case may be, I think you're stepping off on the wrong foot, right? Because they're already giving you something for your time. They're already helping your channel out. You're already getting, you know, something out of it. And you should be happy for that, especially if you're just starting off, right? You're nobody. They don't know who you are. You don't have a following, you know. They don't know how good of a quality you're going to be able to produce. Yes, they could look at your old videos, but if you don't have a track record, is what I'm saying, then you should be more than happy to receive that as compensation for just borrowing the watch. And I argue that at any point in time, that should be enough for you as a content creator. Now, again, I'm only talking in the perspective as somebody who's not using this as a full-time job or their main source of revenue, and somebody that doesn't have to feed a family. I can't speak on that. I'm hoping that you guys will chime in. Let me try to catch up on chat here. I may be getting trolled a little bit today. I don't know. Nice, I can learn. Right. Everybody needs to know you, because you need to have much love. Okay. Should I give him 200, father and son? Hold on, guys, I'm catching up on chat. He's worth 10. Well, I feel like I'm being auctioned off over here. Guys, you guys don't have to send any money. Like, it's cool that you're just tuning in and everything else. Merely on time. What's going on, brother? Channel will evolve as it grows. Exactly. So let me get back on point. So if you're able to borrow watches and the company is gracious enough to pay for the labeling, in my eyes, that should be good enough. Now, let's speak about, and this I can talk about, if the brand is offering you to keep the watch. Now, why does that happen, right? Oftentimes, if you're doing affordable watches and they're willing to send you the watch, sometimes if the watch is affordable enough, it's actually cheaper for them after import tax, and even if they pay for shipping to go back, sometimes they're just like, hey, keep the watch, do the review, and that's that, right? And I personally accept the gift if they're offering it. Now, why do I do that? Because guys, here's the deal. First and foremost, before I decided to do this, I was a full-blown enthusiast. I'm super passionate, and that's what led me to do the content creation. So if I'm offered a watch as a gift for doing a review, of course I'm gonna accept it. Let's be honest, we're all human beings. A gift that and if you're just starting off, you feel honored. You're like, oh wow, like my channel's smaller and they're still offering me to keep the watch. But again, in a business aspect, sometimes it's cheaper to just let the person keep it. And if the person navigates their content where, you know, they're not selling the watch right away, which, you know, that's up to you if you want to sell the watch right after way. Whatever other people want to do, it's totally fine with me. I'm talking about what I do here. I keep the watches, right? I continue to wear it. I continue to post it on other social medias. I continue to stress test the watch, right? Because if I talk very good about a watch and then I keep it as a gift and I'm wearing it, and after 2 months, the whole thing just falls apart, it's my now responsibility to report these findings to you guys and say, hey, listen, I've been wearing the watch, it fell apart. Now, how does getting a gift affect your review? And I'm talking about me. I'm gonna keep saying that. I'm always going to report my improvements. You know, some people call it strengths and weaknesses. I don't like to call it weaknesses. I call it strengths and improvements, okay? I have zero problem listing where the watch needs to be improved. And I haven't had a scenario where the watch that I received is completely trash. And I'm gonna address that. But I haven't received anything that's been completely trashed. There's always been improvements because I don't think that there's a perfect watch out there. There may be a perfect watch for that creator. Therefore, he doesn't have as many improvements for it. But as long as the watch is not completely falling apart, you know, it is what it is. So I have zero issues, whether the watch was gifted to me or not, reporting anything that I find that can be an improvement. If you don't like it and you want to terminate our relationship because I didn't tell my viewers that this is the next best thing since sliced bread for this watch, too bad, kick rocks. That's how I move about the situation. And again, I understand that I'm not coming from a place where I'm feeding my family off of what I'm able to produce. But when I came on here to do this, I had two rules. I'm always going to be honest about my reviews, and I'm never going to try to compromise that, obviously, because that's the most important thing, to be honest. Because listen, you guys are not idiots, right? This whole thing of like, well, if it's received as a gift, you're a human being, and then you might say something and you might favor. You guys are not idiots watching this. You guys can sniff out bullshit. Excuse my language, but I'm going to curse this time. You guys can sniff it out, right? So that's an insult to the viewers watching to say, hey, he's highlighted this thing phenomenally because it was given as a gift, or he received any money. You guys are going to be able to know that that reviewer over time is also compromising their integrity, right? Like, you're willing to put yourself on the line and say something that's not true about a watch, and that can be a serious blowback. And the community, you guys are very, very strong. You guys communicate lightning fast, right? Word gets around. So I think it's an insult to say that it's not the right thing to do for a business model, because that's going to influence the person to only highlight beneficial things. And again, this is just my opinion. Personally, for me, and I'm sorry if I'm not reading chat, I'm in it right now. I wanted to do this live so you guys can see that there's no edits to what I'm saying and, oh, I got to be careful, I didn't say the right thing. No, none of that. We're talking real stuff here. And we're talking about my opinion and my perspective, okay? So I can't talk about whatever I'm not involved with, right? And I don't like to talk like that, but I can definitely tell you guys the experiences that I have. So number one, it was always to report the truth. Number two is I'm never going to allow a brand to control my content creation. What do I mean by that? So they give me a watch, they give me a script, they tell me how to shoot the footage, they tell me how to do this, like, you don't tell me how to run anything on this end. If we're having a collaboration, it's because you went on my channel, you saw my reviews, you did your own algorithms on whether or not it's gonna be worth it for your business, and you're basically taking a chance, and it's an investment in your business to allow me to do this review. And you can't say in your business mind, well, this has to deem me 100 orders, otherwise that content creator, that watch reviewer is useless. We're both taking a chance here when I'm doing this review. There's no guarantee for it. And to add to that, you can't control how I do my reviews. You can't control whether or not you want to offer me a watch to do the review, right? By looking at what I've done in the past. But by no means can you tell me, oh, hey, can you put all the highlights in the beginning and talk and say how this watch is so great, and then go into the watch and the specific. Nothing, no matter how, even if I decide to not even read off specifications and put that in the description, however I format my reviews is how I want to do it. And if you don't like that, kick rocks. Here's the deal. If you're a reviewer starting off and you're getting these relationships and you feel nervous or you feel compelled to say something nice so they work with you again and you get another free watch, don't do it. There are so many other brands out there that are good, genuine people that only want open and honest feedback, and they see the value in that because they want to improve. A brand should be incredibly happy that I'm coming on here and talking about where the watch can improve specifically, so you as a brand can go back and make the watch better by either taking my word of mouth, because you maybe think that I'm experienced enough, or you go and see my comments where other people are going to agree on those strengths and weaknesses. That's where the comments from you guys watching the reviews becomes very important, because we obviously want the watches to be better. We want more features offered into it that are going to make it better. So when we say to, I mean, obviously, oh, can you comment, like, subscribe? Like, I'm honestly going to step away from even saying that, to be honest with you guys. If you like what you're seeing And again, this goes back to insults, not insults, but I don't know how to phrase this, but I'm not, okay, so let me break it down. I'm trying to get it out. If you like what you're seeing, you're gonna come back. You're gonna subscribe because you're gonna say, I don't wanna miss this person's videos. They're great, they're entertaining. Or you're gonna comment because you're gonna say, I watched something in this video, either I really connect to what they're saying, or I have a difference of an opinion and I wanna voice that, and you put a comment. And that's the way it's supposed to be. So for me, and I'm only talking about me, I'm gonna step away eventually from stating like, comment, subscribe. But what I can say is you guys commenting on videos when you're seeing my opinion specifically, and you like it or don't like it, well, that's important because the brand is watching and the brand needs that feedback, and that's why they gave the watch to the watch reviewer in order to improve the watches. Let me attempt to catch up to chat. I am so sorry, but I you know what I mean? Like, I just want to get this out. Like, I normally want to read, line by line. Channel will evolve as it will go. That's where I left off. Important thing is transparency and honesty. Exactly. Transparency and honesty and accountability should be on the forefront of every reviewer's mind. And that should be the most important thing for them, no matter what the scenario is, whether or not they're getting paid for the review or they're getting a gift as a watch, right? And I personally don't ask to get paid on reviews. My channel is smaller, but even if it grew significantly, I don't use YouTube as a source of revenue for me to feed my family. That keeps that freedom for me. It keeps it from being a job, right? Again, I started off saying that I do this for passion, and the passion kind of goes away when it becomes more of like work and more of things you don't want to do. Everything I do on this channel, I love to do, and I'm passionate to do, so I have no strings to hold me down, if you will. Important thing, okay, I read that. Mark is being a little short-sighted. Again, KP, I brought up Mark's video because it sparked the energy for this review. It marked the energy for this live, but by no means am I trying to make this about was he right about what he put out, what he's wrong about. I got a lot of respect for him. He's been doing this a lot longer than me. He has 10 times more experience than I do, and he's entitled to his own opinion. And I'm not going to say that I was against anything that he said anyway, right? This is not a response to his video at all. And I know he's probably going to get a lot of videos in response to that. That's not what we do here. That's not how I move. But I am honestly very passionate about the subject because I give a shit about the community, and I feel like, this is a topic that I've heard go on and on and on, and I'd love to see if we can communicate enough, if bringing up the subject where we can come to an agreement, a resolve. I mean, listen, obviously the easiest thing here is that you remain open and honest no matter what the situation is. And you don't play it scared. You don't play it where it's like, well, they paid me this and they gave me that, so I must say this. If that's how you move, whether this is a full-time or not, you're not in this for the right reasons, in my opinion. And I think that, like I said, you guys are gonna be able to sniff that out. You guys are not idiots. A lot of you guys will have already experienced that watch and sent it back, and then that person has credibility, and you guys communicate all day long. So you put yourself in a very compromising position. And what for? I just went to Wind Up. 130 brands came to that show. Not that there's 130 independent brands, period. 130 brands, and we're just talking about independent brands here, came to that show. So the watch market, the watch brands are growing, right? So as a content reviewer, dude, I have so many opportunities to go wherever I want if somebody wants to shut me down because I said that their watch needs quick release. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, how dare you put the quick release comment in there, and you should have just said good things and stuff like that. I'm not having it. And I'll tell you guys what, I'll give you guys a little bit more. I have had a company, I'm not gonna put the name out there, but I've had a company try and come back and tell me how I should have composed my review. Not gonna happen. You're not gonna tell me if I should repost it because it didn't get as many views, because listen, I took the time to break it down. I responded. I didn't get mad, I was peeved, but I didn't get mad. I was like, okay, I can see in their lenses how this played out. They gave me a watch, it was a gift, they didn't get the views that they wanted to get, right? I get it. But so what? You saw my channel didn't have 100,000 subscribers and 50,000, 60,000 views per video. This is, the algorithm is the reason why this video didn't get pushed out, and or my skill set wasn't accepted from the community for this video to get the amount of views. It is what it is. Now, reposting the video, that's just gonna upset the people that already just watched it. The people who are already following me, that's building my foundation, watched that video. So now I'm gonna take it down and repost it to hope to get more views. That's gonna upset the people that have been following me from day one and that has the foundation built for my channel. Absolutely not. Second of all, I should have put all the highlights in the beginning of the, no, my man. I'm making my videos how I wanna make my videos. And if you don't like it, kick rocks. That's it. And that's how I'm gonna move. That's how I'm always gonna move. Sorry, I'm gonna try to catch up. How much does it cost to make a high quality video for every Islander watch compared to outsourcing it on YouTube reviews? Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. Mark isn't short-sighted. He's a brilliant businessman. I agree with that, man. Like, if you guys, okay, so maybe some of you guys haven't been to one of the wind-up shows. And I didn't want to keep going into this, but you guys are saying it on chat, so I'm going to address it. And I've already said that I have a lot of respect for Mark. So, you know, that doesn't mean that if he says something I don't agree with, I'm not going to say it, right? We have to be able to have an open forum. Just because we have a difference of an opinion doesn't mean that we have to be enemies. We can have different perspectives. And in fact, I like when somebody has a different perspective, because instead of getting mad, I listen, and then I realize, he has a point. I'm gonna go revise what I thought about, and I'm gonna maybe meet him in the middle, or he just gave me more, right? So anyway, New York Windup. Merely on Time just said that Mark is a brilliant businessman. He absolutely is, and that's evident because if you go to the show, his booth is mobbed from beginning of the show to the end of the show. It's like a club. Like, he's got a bouncer on his line. You know what I'm talking about? Like, he has a bunch of people. He does a lot of different things where he takes percentages off. You guys know if you come with an Islander, he gives you $50. If you buy another watch, he reinvests in you. Absolutely brilliant. I love that. I love that he is thinking about how can I give and then get, right? Whether you think it's like, oh, well, that's just a business play to buy another watch. Yeah, he's selling watches, but everybody's selling watches and not offering the same thing. And if you take a look at his booth, morning, noon, and night of the show, from beginning to end, mobbed. So he absolutely knows what he's doing and has credibility to it and has the right to speak up, and he should speak up. And I'm glad he did, because I fed off that energy, I fed off of that subject matter, and here we are. He has, Mark does his own reviews, and it cost him nothing but his time. Correct. He has created, and he's been doing those reviews for a very long time. He's been on YouTube for a very long time. Back when he wasn't even showing his face, he was just behind the camera, and then all of a sudden he came out. He has created an incredible business and business model. Yes, if you stay true to yourself, people will follow. 100%, metal, 100%. And again, like, we get so, the big subject thing is like, well, how do we know if they're telling the truth? You're gonna know if they're telling the truth. If you're really like keen to reviews, and you know, this isn't your first rodeo, I don't receive a watch unless I can say what I want. Exactly. And in some cases, I've learned a watch offered to return because I'm not out to hurt the company. Okay, so merely, I'm gonna address that. Let me just put it in my brain. We're gonna return because I'm not out to hurt the company. I'm gonna address that, but let me try to catch up on chat, which is, you got a lot to say about this. I love it. I had a company tell me other reviewers noticed things about their watch, but did not include it in their video, whereas I did. Beautiful, beautiful. And you know, does that necessarily mean that they were intentionally omitting that? No, I've had reviews and I've had videos where I'm like, damn, I should have mentioned that, I forgot. Like, you know, I try to keep with a consistency of at least a video a week. And now that I've got it down to more of a science, I like to keep it that way, even though I'm able to edit faster and do videos faster because I've gotten used to it. I like to keep at that pace and not try to say, okay, let me do 2, 3 videos. Why? Because I want to improve the quality of that one video that you're getting a week over time. That being said, this is not a full-time gig, like I told you. So week to week, it just changes. And I want to remain to that consistency. So sometimes I forget to say things. Does that mean they purposely omitted it? Maybe, maybe not. Does that mean that they made a mistake for sure and just didn't mention it? No, they may have worried about the relationship. But again, merely, if people saw the same watch, right, in their review and then they watched your review, and they noticed, hey, he didn't say that. You guys are not stupid, man. You're going to pick up on it. So that's that. But if I get something that is bad, I'll offer to return it. I read that. My point is, I think I read that. Hold on. Watch, I do a negative. No, but if I get something bad, I'll offer to return the watch and not do a negative review, as I'm not out to hurt the brand, and I'm talking major issues here, though not minor improvement issues. Correct. I'm going to address that merely. I just want to see if I can catch up. My point is that marketing costs exist, I guess, and they are either done internally or externally. Yeah, I agree. Wrong either way. True, he does both. And sorry about the light, guys. I might have to turn around or something. Let me see if I can bring it closer. Try to change the angle. Riskful Ignorance, what's up, bro? We were chatting a little earlier. What's going on, man? I appreciate you putting me on to some equipment that I should get. True, he does both, and what is most advantageous to him. Of course, he's a business. He's not. What is he gonna do? Simon saying hi to Simon. I think paying for a review can lead to a biased review. I don't feel it's important. So you think paying for a review, did a leaf just hit me in the head? Review can lead to a biased review. It can lead to a biased review, bro, but here's the thing. If you do that, because here's the deal. I'm sure you are in love right now and subscribe to somebody doing YouTube full-time and feeding their family. Therefore, do they have a justification to ask for the bag if they're doing a review? Obviously. They're not going to let their family starve. Now, can that lead to a bias? Absolutely. But the same way that you can go to work in the morning and work for something completely different on a 9 to 5, and you can make bad decisions at work, is the same thing as you making a bad decision on YouTube by being biased, right? And, you know, just trying to sway the audience just for clicks, reviews, or for the brand to get purchases so you can continue to get that bag. But again, I have a lot of faith in you guys. I have a lot of faith in the community. I'm part of the community. I am, and I was, and I am, and I will be an enthusiast first. So I've watched so many reviews, and I'm sure everybody watching this have watched a lot of reviews on watches. You can tell because A, that's not the only person making the review. There's other people making the review that are like me and don't rely on this as a source. So all of a sudden I'm saying this, and then you're confirming it, and then you just lost all trust in that person. You may even unsubscribe and never watch a video from them again. So is that possibility for happening? Yes. Can you eliminate that in totally? You can't, because we're human beings, and human beings are emotional creatures, and they're going to sometimes be selfish and sometimes do this. You can't help that. There's no way to weed this out and solve the problem tomorrow. What I'm saying is the problem sorts itself out eventually, and as more content creators come to platform, this is why I love more creators coming into the mix, because they give different perspectives and different opinions, yes, but they're also not held or tethered to a brand the same way. So, you know, maybe the brands try and dodge and weave those people, but there are people that can afford the watch, don't need the collaboration, and then come on and do the review. One way or another, man, you're gonna buy the watch and you're gonna figure it out eventually, I think, because if you believed what I said and I said was not the truth, and you purchase the watch and it's trash and you have to return it, that's a big problem. Now I just put a target on me, right? So that's that. I think paying for a review can lead to, I read that. Love your channel, by the way. Thank you, Merely. Thank you, KP. I mean, oh, you're saying you love Merely. I'm gonna laugh like him. Hopefully you love my channel too. I mean, you're on here though. But I love Merely. I watch Merely, off topic, I watch Merely on Time's channel because I just wait for the laugh. The laugh is so infectious. Sometimes I'm not even like laughing with him in a sense. It's like just the laugh alone makes me laugh. Like what he says probably isn't as funny to me, but when he laughs, I gotta laugh, man. I gotta laugh. It's great. And he's very entertaining, and he's on here telling you guys that he operates in the same fashion. And Merely, I haven't forgotten about one of your comments that I'm gonna come back to, but I wanna try to catch up on chat at least. This is exactly what Mark wants. Good or bad news, we're talking about, yeah, maybe. I mean, listen, the man is not, but, you know, regardless, Rissful, if that was his plan all along, I still felt like it is an important topic and I wanted to get your guys' opinion on it, regardless of how it is. And listen, it wasn't like the man was hurting before he made the video, let's be honest. I'm telling you, I don't know if you've been to any of the shows that Mark is a part of. His booth is always booming. I bought an Islander this year. That was the watch that I decided to go with. One of his, what is it? The ISL 245 Port Jeff GMT. I was ready for higher movements, Miota GMT True Traveler. So he got me. So that's how you know I'm not on here to bash him, man. Like, I got a lot of respect for him, but you know, if that was the move, that's the move, baby. You gotta respect the hustle. As long as it's coming from always a truthful place. Let me catch up. Haha, truth, Chris, sup bro, love your channel. Skylar, thank you, KP. I'm gonna keep doing it, man. I'm gonna keep doing it, man. I'm honestly, I'm not a watch reviewer. I'm just a watch enthusiast who happens to press record. Put it that way. That's all it really is. Wrist check, what's on the wrist today? I forgot to do that. So, San Martin, that's how I like to say it. You guys ever caught the guy who says it like that? I love it. San Martin. Got the San Martin. So, I got this on a Montrose strap, right? He just came out with the leather straps. Gonna plug my man over there, Tom, because I like Tom, man. If you guys haven't checked the interview I did with him, cool cat. But he said, Skylar, I got a leather strap coming out. He was doing the FKM phenomenal straps as is. So he says, I'm getting into leather. You mind if I send you one? I said, yeah, send me one. I want to see how it compares to the FKM, because the FKM is phenomenal. So I have a high bar for you. A little nervous here. Send me. He said, which color do you want? I said, surprise me. So he gives me this color. And I'm like, this guy, what am I gonna match this color to? What am I gonna match this color to? This is how you know it's important to slow down and appreciate what's in your collection. Because if you check out this dial, obviously the color match to the chapter ring is absolutely magnificent. So the San Martin matches perfectly with this Montreux. Hey, listen, as we're doing this live, the only thing I could say that I would want is curved lugs. We actually talked about curved lugs while we're live on there, but he put enough material here where it's pretty clutch, you know, so I could live with how close this really is. Actually, when I'm holding it up like this, it doesn't even look like the space is there. Obviously, when it's on wrist and it does the bend, you can see it. That would be the only thing, but we get quick release on there, right? And the leather strap is as, can I say as supple? I'm not gonna say as supple as his FKM strap, but it's super soft. And I haven't even broken this in yet. So if it's gonna get softer than this, sheesh. But this is another example. So I did a review on the San Martin too, right? Beside the strap. I did a review on San Martin. I purchased this watch. This was not collaborated with them at all. You know, I've tried to get San Martin for obvious reasons. They're super popular, but you know, if my channel's too small for you, respect, much respect. I have nothing bad to say. Maybe when I get, you know, grow bigger and everything else, but I purchased this watch. I did the review on it, and that was one of the things that led to it. But I can't do that every time for obvious reasons, and it is what it is. But always truthful, man. Always truthful. Let me catch up. That's what's on wrist. The San Martin. I forgot the model number is the SN118, 118G, something like that. Wrist check, I got that. Chris just got the best watch brand. Chris just got the best watch brand store. Talking beauty shots now, okay. Oh, sweet, man. Thank you. Man, watching the F1 and this on the side. That's why you got so much high energy cool watches only. You're watching these fast cars go, man. Just like the videos, it's like bing, 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 bing. Yo, man, you need to stop watching the F1 and just create more videos, please. If you guys don't, so anybody who's watching this, Merely On Time and Cool Watches Only, both are very different in style, just like how I'm very different with everyone else. But both are very entertaining, and you guys have to check it out. If you're on my channel, check out theirs too. I endorse them 100%. Very entertaining. I know Merely On Time is a straight shooter. Cool Watches Only is definitely a straight shooter. You know, I love seeing some of the newer channels coming out and being so thoroughbred with their reviews, man. It's a beautiful thing. Not always going to be the case with some people, but those two guys I endorse for sure. Wristful Ignorance also has a channel, guys. Check him out. He's literally just starting out, but the man's on a mission, I could tell, and I'm excited to see over the next 7 to 8 months where it's going to be at. I'm totally using, oh, hold on. Hey chat, you need to, thank you for the upvote. I mean, listen, man, thank you, Simone, for, I'm using your name, Wistful Ignorance. Thank you for telling them to upvote, but to be honest with you, bro, and I've thought about this, and maybe this conversation led to that, but it's like, if people like me, if people like what they're hearing and they like the channel, they're gonna subscribe eventually. Maybe they forget. You know, I know a lot of people just watch the same reviewer and just forget to subscribe. But someday, sometime, some point, they're gonna say, damn, I don't wanna miss any of the videos. I'm gonna subscribe, let me like. So I think moving forward, man, I'm gonna just let people do them. You know what I mean? Like, if you like what you're seeing, then you're gonna do what you gotta do, you know? I'm totally using the clip from your latest live. Whenever someone asks about my channel, you rock, man. Nah, man, I appreciate, yo, listen, a rising tide lifts all boats. And I think, listen, cool watches only, merely on time. We have to have a conversation. Wistful Ignorance, you're probably already aware of this, but Travis, he's gonna put a panel together in 2025. We need some strong talkers, and I think doing this, I think people would like to see more perspectives of reviewers coming together. Not necessarily just on this topic, obviously, but I think it would be very beneficial if we create a panel for 2025 and we come up about at least twice a month and we just have a conversation. So just keep that in the back of your minds. It's a slippery slope to navigate for sure. You know what, man? And I put that as a comment on that video, that it's a slippery slope. And I think it always is a slippery slope, because you're not going, me and you, us, the community is not gonna have an answer today that's gonna remedy the problem tomorrow. What I can lay on is what I've been saying, is that we are incredibly keen, you know, as big as the watch community is as small as it is, if you will, with the population of the world and the people who are actually watch nerds. Some people may have watches, but they're not watch nerds. So I think that it's a small enough niche community where we're gonna be able to sniff that out, and it's not a long-lasting thing. If you're being biased, if you are being bought out, let's just call it what it is, you're being bought out, and everything else. So I'm waiting for the next Watch Crunch mod. Yo, I know that I think Watch Crunch is doing a collab with Notice. So if you really want to put something in your pocket, on your wrist, that has that Watch Crunch collaboration, stay tuned for that. I don't know what the status is. I know Max put out a post about it, and I think it was supposed to happen in October, but these things are not easy to do. I know this. With all of the events going on and stuff like that, it may have gotten delayed. For my personal mod, if anything, it would be in 25. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that, because now that I'm doing this content creation, I don't really have a whole lot of time for modifications or actually putting together mods that I can, you know, distribute. So, you know, maybe, but, you know, I also respectfully, if Watch Crunch is actually doing a collaboration with Notice, I would like to stay out of their way, let them do their collaboration, get those watches out, and then maybe later in 25 I could do so. As of now, there's no plans, but that's never going to be completely out of the picture, like completely not happening for sure, if you will. I'm gonna, have you heard of Mark Fairwell watches? I have not heard about them. I will check them out. If you're on Watch Crunch, Lord, send me the link to their information, because I have a bird brain and I'll probably forget. Yo, Shane, what up, bro? Merely appreciate it, bro. Of course. Thanks for speaking about this. Yeah, man, I think it was super important, and you know, I thought the live would be better, you know, just so you guys can see me unfiltered, unadulterated, like, let's just talk about it. Again, if you're watching this on the playback, or if you're watching this live, and you know, if you leave off with anything, but I'm only giving you guys my perspective, and this is not a response to Mark from Long Island Watches video, please keep that in mind, because that's not what this is. This is me having a voice, me having experience, being a newer channel, having collaborations and building relationships, and then speaking about how that, for me, that has no effect. And again, I gave you guys all the principles as to why that's not an effect on me. What's happening in Wistful Ignorance? I depend on reviews. If a watch hasn't been reviewed by any of the 50+ reviewers I follow, then then I won't buy it. That's interesting. KP, if you are coming across a lot of watches or a lot of watch scenarios like that, here's the deal. Pick your favorite ones, right? The ones that you really trust, the ones that you really like and that are entertaining to watch. Send them an email, could be me, and let me know what are the brands, right? Send an email to the brand and say, hey, I like this reviewer. I really would love to see what their opinion is because I respect their opinion. Can we make something happen, whether either they borrow it or something like that, so like that I can get that kind of footage? I absolutely understand how you feel, and that's why I know how important this is, because I'm the same way. If I can't see it in real life, if I can't see it in the metal, then I go to the reviews, right? And sometimes you do both, but if both are not able to happen, then I kind of feel like I don't know the watch, and seeing it on the internet's pictures, it's not gonna be enough. So I completely understand that. I heard good things about Mark Farewell watches. Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, so Simone, you too. Just shoot me a message. I mean, you're a reviewer too, bro, so maybe you need to reach out. Sharp, hi Skylar. Vincent H, what's going on, bro? Looks awesome, Skylar. Thank you. Oh man, I'm so far behind. Thanks. You're good enough, you're smart enough, and doggone people like you. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel blessed, man. I really thought that, I caught up. I really thought when I started this, I was like, all right, if I could influence 100 people, I would honestly be happy with that. So the fact that it got past that, it's like, what? Because I'm just a regular. So anyway, merely, I said I would address, what was I going to address? Damn it, man. Damn it. I said I was going to address something. Oh, so Skylar, what do you do if you get a watch and it's completely trash? How do you handle that? Hasn't happened yet where I was like, whew, this watch is going to get cooked, bro. If it were to happen, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to receive the watch. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to do my inspection, blah, blah, blah. Maybe there's misinformation about the watch. Maybe the watch is trash. Whatever it is, let's say it's a train wreck. I'm then going to contact the manufacturing and say, hey, hi, thank you for sending me the watch. Super grateful, whether it's a gift or not. And I'm going to say, this is what I found out about the watch. I really don't think it's in your best interest if I show this watch to the community, because I'm going to be honest, and I'm not going to have the tone of like this, you don't ever, I don't want to put this watch in the frame when I do it. Don't ever buy this watch. The tone's not going to be there, but I'm going to say this is wrong, that is wrong, because the truth floweth from this channel. Maybe it's in your best interest for me to send the watch back and you guys work on it, right? Because, that's fine. Even if they start off not so good quality or things are inaccurate, maybe they didn't have the full education. Because sometimes what you guys don't realize is that you guys as consuming content, or us as watch content creators, know watches better. We can put it under more of a stress test than the manufacturer sometimes can, or the person, not the manufacturer, but the person selling the watches, right? We can find the nooks and crannies. So there's things that are missed, and sometimes they mislabel things, or they don't give enough. Oh man, merely back me on this, bro. Sometimes they don't give enough information on their website. And I'm like, guys, you gotta tell them the crystal you have on there. You gotta mention, it's like, oh, this is Japanese movement. It's like, no, that'll work. You got to tell them exactly what movement. These are nerds that I'm talking to. You understand? I'm a nerd, he's a nerd, we're all nerdy about this. We want to know exactly which model, which movement, not when we buy the watch. So sometimes it's just not enough information. And that's fine, because that's why we're here. So I personally won't make a video to destroy a watch. I won't even make a video if they don't conduct themselves professionally, let's say, right? Like, I did mention my experience that I had where they tried to put a little bit of strings on me and tell me how I should conduct but I'm not going to say their name. I'm not here to put out negativity. I'm not here to feed off of drama. I know that if you use drama and you use that kind of, tactic to draw the emotions out of people to get their eyes and their attention, I don't need that attention, and I don't operate that in my personal life. I don't use dark humor. I use positive, uplifting. I'm just a positive person, and that's just how I am, and I'm not afraid to be that way, and I'm not here to destroy people. So if I get a bad watch, it's getting sent back. I'm gonna still do my own personal review and tell them how can they improve, and hopefully they improve it. Now, is that wrong? Should I have warned people about getting the watch? Maybe there's an argument there, but at the end of the day, that's how I'm running my channel. I'm not up here to destroy watches. And if you want that, there are probably people out there that will make videos like that. Go watch them. You don't like it? I don't care. How about that? Like, straight up. So always love and respect moving forward, and always just trying to make things better for the watch community and the watch brands rather than tear them down, right? And even if they're rude to me, right, through emails or don't respond to me, no problem. Again, guys, this whole, oh, well, the reviewer is going to worry about the relationship and or if they're going to get a watch or a bag next time. It's like there's so many brands out there that should never be the case. And I know that with me saying that, it's like, well, yeah, but if you're working with somebody and they're already compensating you, you don't want that to stop. Again, I'm going to fall on my sword. You guys are going to sort that out. I believe in you guys to be able to pick out the bullshit. We're using curses words here because this is real talk right now. You're not going to allow it, and that's going to be that. So let me catch up on chat. Ooh, hold on. What was the last thing I read? Greetings from Mexico. What is up, Jesus? Appreciate you. Oh man, yo, Simone, remind me later on. I gotta get you guys some mods. I gotta get moderators. I keep forgetting to hook it up, just in case. I mean, I ignore the trolls anyway, but I'd love to just have some snipers, you know, in case somebody's really trying to like mess up the chat in the conversation. That's exactly what I do, Skylar. I did roast one company that gives me a nasty response after I was doing nothing but trying to help them out. Yo, listen, and merely. Perfect example. I don't necessarily agree with that one scenario that happened with you, but I'm not on here to say, well, Merely On Time was wrong for doing that. He should have never done that. That was bad. That's his channel. That's how he wants to move. That's on him. And what happens after that, he's taking accountability for. So I was not probably put in that scenario. I wasn't in his shoes. Maybe if I was in his shoes, I would feel compelled. But I'm going to always try not to do that. But if you had to do that, brother, sometimes you just gotta give a couple of lumps, you know what I mean? Sponsor brands in exchange for good reviews is now common practice, and it makes flipping easier. My friend, Jesus, here's the deal. That didn't just happen over the last 2 years, right? And maybe you're saying that the volume of that has increased. Maybe the volume of that has been more exposed, but my friend, somebody getting paid to say something nice about a brand has been around every industry, including watches, for a very long time. Now, the conversation is becoming more popular, so I think it feels like it's like, oh, well, yeah, this is an issue, damn it. But to be honest with you, dude, there's been people that have been on here for a very long time doing that, and I don't even know who it is. I'm not, guys, I don't have the hard facts of like, oh yeah, this person's doing it, that person, and I wouldn't come up here and expose them, if you will, but I can tell by, I have my finger on the pulse with the community and what they're talking about. And this has not been a subject that has just been talked about. Mark just made a video which kind of brought it to the surface, but I feel like this has been happening for a very, very long time, my friend. And it is what it is. You kind of have to have your wits about you. Now, they're going to get some people. They're going to get some people that are none the wiser. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I don't think there is a way to stop that. I think that as a community, we have to collectively agree that A, we communicate, right? I want to build a relationship with Merely. I want to build a relationship with Wristful Ignorance. I want to build a relationship with Cool Watches Only. All of these guys creating their own perspectives and their own opinions. This way, all of the information, because we're the guys touching the watches and we're not always touching the same ones. So if there is a bad seed out there, we can communicate that, and then we can be as informative as we can into the community. That's our responsibilities. If you come on here and you talk about this stuff and people are trading the most valuable thing in their life, which is their time, then it is your responsibility, by default, whether you realize it or not, to do the best you can to keep things honest, transparent, and we need to connect to each other as content creators to grow that visual that scope of the land, if you will, because I can't see it all. Merely can't see it all, you know, but if we are working together on it, we can move mountains. Word, Skylar. Me, you, two peas in a pod when it comes to our yeah, man, there you go. So listen, I really didn't think that what I had to say and how I was thinking was too far off. Again, merely, I'm sure you were a watch enthusiast before you hit record too. So it's like, guys, we have the finger on the pulse because we are the pulse. We are part of the pulse. We're some of the cells within the vein. We love watches just as much as you guys do. Totally not Parata, Jesus. No, Jesus, many of us small channels don't make much money doing videos to receive, take a watch to sell. It can only fund more watches to make more content. Yes, and okay, so that's a very good thing for you to respond to that because I'm going to address that. Let me catch up on that totally. I'm not saying that that's bad either. It's just the state of affairs. Agreed. First, Mark from Long Island Watch talks this, and now it's a topic of convo all over the place. That's how it is, bro. It's a community. You know, we're like a small cul-de-sac, right, of housewives. And if something happens, the whole neighborhood's gonna be talking about it. That's what I mean, and that's why I keep saying, guys, we are in it, and we can smell it. You know what I mean? We could fish out the crap. So it's not like it's that much of an issue as big as we're trying to feel like it is, if you will. Just my opinion. Just what I'm saying, just my opinion. I respect if you feel differently, and if you do, I'm more than happy to discuss it with you. Just pointing out why some of the relation between expectation, reality, and some QC and our customer service or policy. Yeah, I mean, listen, in some of my reviews, and more frequently moving forward, I'm gonna be talking about more independent brands, because that's where my luxury is, but I'm also going to include how the brand conducts themselves and what their reputation is and who they are as a person. Because with independent brands, what's nice about them that's separate from the big brands and the mass-produced brands is that you can have a chat with the owner, right? You can go to the shows, you can talk to them in person. Now, if I have a genuine contact with them and I can report something, that's how it's gonna be. And I've kind of felt a 50-50 on that, because I'm like, if you're watching a review of mine and it has a watch, how much talking do you want to hear about that before you see the actual watch? So I want to figure out a way to balance it. But again, at the end of the day, it's my channel. So if I want to spend a half an hour talking about the brand and then do the review, maybe that's not popular and maybe it only gets 2 views, but that's what I have to be willing to risk to keep my authenticity. And that's how I have to remain. Let's just leave it at that. Some reviewers receive money for reviews along with the watches and hide behind the includes paid promotion on YouTube and do not disclose that they are getting paid in. Hey, yo, listen, man, if that's what they do, I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is. That, like, me as, okay, I'll give you my answer as an enthusiast that watches reviews. If somebody's getting paid behind the scenes and decides not to say that, they just put the paid promotion, they say they sent me a watch, I don't have to send it back, and they don't tell me that they got paid for it, I personally, I might get canceled for this. I don't care. Why? Because when I watch that review and I hear all the listings and all the findings, that, for one, is not going to be the only video I watch on that particular model, right? I'm going to watch a few other people that I trust. And if now I compare and contrast, then either way, I'm never going to know if they got paid, but I'm going to say, 4 people stated that this could be this needs to be a major improvement, and this one person didn't. Do they really have to let me know that they got the bag at that point? And or even if they didn't get the bag and they decided to keep out something super important, does it really matter, right? Now it's like you just ruined your credentials, you know? So it's either negligence or it's greed, and either way you lose. That's my point. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. This is good watch gossip. This is it. This is Gossip Girls. This is Gossip Girls for watch enthusiasts. We're having fun. That's not cool. In my book, who cares if you're getting paid? Just be honest about it. I respect you. I respect you, sir. If you want all of the information on the table, then I think that you should only watch people who are completely up forward with that. Now, I'll ask you this. How are you going to know who's what, right? How are you going to know who got the bag behind the scenes? That's the problem, right? So that's why I choose to not get so fixated on that. We're talking perfect world merely, then perhaps maybe you're correct, right? If there was a way that we can list it and we can check that, then that would make sense. But for me, if there's no way for me to really know anyway, then I don't want to spend any time on it, and I'll just navigate it through that. But I agree. I do think that being completely truthful would be better. Do think it would be better. My opinion is that I don't concern myself with it. I use my other investigative skills to figure out what I want to come up with my analysis for that reviewer specifically. Man, that sounded like a good answer. It sounded like I was in court. The defense rests, Your Honor. I don't care if the reviewer gets compensated so long as they make sure they let us know it's happening in their review. So you agree, merely we aren't going to talk about Fat Cat. Oh, no, we're not stirring the pot here, Fat Cat. That's a guy that does reviews as well, right? I've heard that name before. Ha, I'm not naming names, but if you did, you might be shocked. Merely, I have information on specific people, more than who's getting paid behind the scenes. I've built phenomenal relationships and people were trusting me with having that information. You know, you get the drinking, you get the talking to some watch brands and some watch owners, and they start telling you how it is, not only who's getting paid, but how it was to work with the person, who's difficult and who's not difficult. I'm not releasing that information. A, it would be disrespectful for the relationships that had told me their information, and B, that's not what that's, you know, oh, I'm gonna get views because I'm specifically, nah, we're not doing that, man. We're not doing that. We're just addressing a very emotional topic. I'm not naming names, shocked. I only know because of conversations with other microbrand owners. Exactly. I've had drinks with microbrand owners. I've have chats with them and stuff like that. We've talked. And then I've also taken the step as confirming that. I'm like, so how's it, like I know that they work with somebody else, and I'm like, so by the way, how is it working with so-and-so? And they just give me the look, you know what I mean? They're like, and I'm like, say no more, say no more, say no more. And that's just me being nosy. I'll be honest with you. What am I gonna do with that information? Nothing. I'm not gonna come on here and bash that person. It's just for me to know. It's just, but it also merely, it gives you that education to say who's who and what's what. You know, that's probably why you do it too. It's not only about the natural curiosity of the drama behind it, right? There's a difference between being interested in the drama and then coming on in here and being dramatic and stoking those flames or creating that kind of buzz, which I don't give a crap about that. Once again, this is not witch hunting. I don't think any of the mentioned examples of monas are illegal, otherwise they could not do it. And if they are entitled to choose the way they make their income, yeah, man, I did unsubscribe, and I know from talking to microbrand owners that discuss, yeah, okay, yeah, dude, you're just like not having it, and I respect that. You know, for you, it's like, no, this is how you must move. If you move in that direction, you're done. I respect it, bro. I have nothing to say. Robert Wood, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. We're talking about a lot here, man. You might have to catch the playback at this point, my friend, but thank you for coming in, Robert Wood. I really respect when other creators, I know you guys could be doing anything, and I really do appreciate you guys and everybody else that is watching and that's in chat, man. It's all love. Rob Wood in the building. I love it. Same. Wait. My lips are sealed as well. All right, so yeah, you know what I mean? It's like being a gentleman. It's like, I'm not gonna kiss and tell, and I'm not gonna, you know, find out a piece of information and go off a drama. So that's pretty much, guys, that is my 2 cents in the whole entire subject. I don't think that there is much. If you guys have any other questions about the topic, but again, it has to be something that I can speak on. I can't come in here and tell you guys, well, you know, if you're a full-time YouTuber for watch reviews, you should get paid, blah, 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 because I don't do that. So, you know, I don't like to talk about stuff that I don't do. And I think that even with money being exchanged, as merely also stated, if it's in the forefront and if people are being open and honest about it, that's it. But, you know, they're probably also afraid that the moment they said that, people are going to be like, oh, you're only doing this because you got money, or whatever you say is completely, you know, going to be, you know, just biased and exaggerated. So slippery slope. How you doing, bro? Ripsaw Joe's in the building. I'm doing well, my good friend. I am doing well. Man, assume we all get the bag. You will always need to use your common sense. I do. I do reviews. Don't just trust in what I say or anyone else says. And yes, you know what? Cool Watches Only, you made a very valid point, man. And I want to make this very clear as well. He just stated it. I'm going to reinforce it. Guys, my opinions are my opinions. My views are my views. My experiences are my experiences. Even if I'm touching a watch and it's something that you have not held in your hand before, it is up to you to do your due diligence after the fact if you are especially deciding to add and spend your hard-earned money on a watch moving forward. You can't watch a watch review from me or, and I'm speaking for other people, but I think that they would say the same thing, or from anyone else and say that, well, that reviewer is, I feel like he's a real person. I feel like he's always being real and I like the way that watch looks, so let me go after it. Now, what I can say is that it can pique your interest for you to continue to do more homework on the watch, but you guys have to form your own opinions. You guys have to have your own beliefs in the watch itself, and you have to come up with your own thing, right? You can't take our words and just let it be end all be all, and it should never be like that for anything, especially when it's your money that you're spending. You know what I mean? So I love you guys for watching those videos. I love you guys for having my back and having that trust in me. That's huge, right? One thing as a watch reviewer, the relationships, and it's not just with brands, it's very important with brands, but the relationship with your reviewers, the relationship with other content creators, just relationships in general, man. I feel like that is the most important skill to have, and it is only solidified through respect and honesty. And that is how you have to carry yourself. If you're looking to become a reviewer yourself, realize that what you're really signing up for, yes, there's all this video editing and this and that, but you're really signing up to being a relationship builder, being able to reach out to companies and stand out or make them believe in you early on. That's one of the hardest things, right? I talked about it in the beginning of this show where I said the hardest thing is when you're nobody, right? The algorithms doesn't know you, the brands don't know you, the viewers don't know you, right? So right then and there, you have to really be able to double down on your ability to have relationship skills. And if you don't have that, I would say focus on that first, because like anything else, like any other business, even in my daytime job, even in my personal life, relationships is what makes the world go round at the end of the day. They say it's money, but it's really relationships, because if you have relationships, the money comes and everything else comes with it, right? So at the end of the day, that's what I gotta say. You know what I mean? Amazing conversation. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys being part of that conversation too, man. That's what I really hoped for when I did this live, is like, okay, this is the subject. I'm going to give you guys my perspective, and I want to hear what you guys have to say and what your perspectives are. So merely, Cool Watches, all of you guys, thank you so much for definitely throwing your opinion in there. I really do appreciate it. If you guys have any other questions, we're going to probably get off here soon, maybe like 5-10 minutes. But I think that's pretty much the full scope of what I've experienced so far, right? And look, just because you're a brand new reviewer, just because your channel is brand new, I've proven that you can still build relationships, you can still be honest, you can still not be compromising, you know? And if you're new, especially, there are so many brands out there that you shouldn't worry only about your relationship to keep that healthy over the honesty and reporting the truth, or, you know, just talking to your community in a truthful way, right? Because if somebody didn't like how you did a review and they decide to cut you off, there's so many out there. And there should be different ways that you can create content, not just on watch reviews, in my opinion, because this is how I've moved with my channel. I've included watch modding, straps, just resourcefulness, man, resourcefulness. And eventually now I'm getting to the point where the relationships are coming in and I appreciate them, but never gonna have strings on this, man. I'll tell you that much. I'm not a puppet. I said that last video. I am not a puppet. All my words are my own, and I will always remain that way, you know? Let me catch up. Just learning from the master. Just on here learning from the master content creator. Bro, gas in me. No way. No way, man. Listen, I'm sure there's gonna be things that I'm gonna learn from you, brother. I'm very, very, very early on. I'm a child. I'm a baby in this whole grand scheme of things, man. But I do appreciate the compliment. Thank you. I'm the learning professional. Don't forget, as Trap says, I'm the learning professional. I don't know it all. I never will. I'm not ashamed to say that I don't know things. I'm not ashamed to make mistakes, right? I went on, one of my biggest viewed videos was the wind up, and I pronounced the name wrong, you know? Yeah, I'm human, man. I'm still learning. I'm still new to this. What you are gonna get from me is what you're gonna get from me. I can only do but so much. And as I grow, I'm gonna get better and, you know, more professional, whatever the case may be. Do you wanna take the ride or no? You know what I mean? Trap landed not too long ago and said he is about to get recording already. Yes, so if you guys don't know, Trap Vision 3D, Travis Wiley will be on a cruise, a watch cruise, and he's gonna have a lot of footage for you guys from there. I think he's looking to go live as well as paying for the Wi-Fi package. So stay tuned for that if you guys wanna tune into some, you know, live and in-person stuff. Uh-oh, Mama Bear's in the building. Mama Dukes is in the building. It's like when the representatives discuss a car, shoes, etc. You research it and decide which one works best for you. Exactly, man. Even if you know, even if you go to the stores, that's a good point from Mama Dukes. If you go to the store and somebody's trying to sell you a car or this and that, you always should do your research first. Now, you're live in person, you can touch and feel the car and you can do this, that, and the third, but you should always take a seat back and say, let me do some more research. Let me see what the failure rates for this car. Yeah, the car drives phenomenally now. And that goes into the gift part, right? There's a reason why I accept gifts. A, black and white, I'm an enthusiast. It's a free watch. I'm gonna take the watch. But there also are advantages to that, yeah? I'm gonna be able to I keep my watches. It is what it is. Some people sell them, they don't. I don't care. Do you, boo-boo. But me, I keep the watch, I wear it, I post it on other social media platforms, and I stress test it, right? I put it on my wrist, I wear it for the day, I make sure everything is on the up and up, no hands fall off, this, whatever. And then if I have to report back to you guys, I will. Or if I have to report back to the brand, I will. Or do both. I don't know, I haven't gotten there yet. But the point is that I keep the watch because I want to put it in my collection and wear it. And I also want to be able to continue to wear it. And for the brand, that's also a plus, right? They invested a watch into me, so it's not just like the review and then boom, the watch is off the face of the earth for my content. I continue to post it on my daily wrist shots. I continue to post about it here, on other platforms. So, you know, it is what it is. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I'm a human being, I'm emotional. Now, am I gonna be biased? There's no need for me to be biased. Well, they gave you a free watch, maybe you want another free watch. No. There's so many watch companies that are gonna offer a gift. There's so many. I'm not compromising my integrity and my ability to have your trust for a free watch. And the video is gonna still mention the improvements, because that is good for the brand. Yes, it's good for you to have the truth, but the brand has to know where they could get better, period. There's just really no need. That's my opinion. Great conversation. Mrs. got home. Oh yeah, I got you. Wants to go for a walk. Hang out with the missus, man. Balance is key. Merely, I appreciate you coming on here, not with the truth. Yes, that's Mama Dukes. She's definitely got some knowledge. Later, Chris. In the end, it's in the interest of every watch enthusiast to see more watches worn. 100%. Nobody ever knows it all, bro. Exactly. Noctua is in the building. I'm sorry I'm late. Had to put the winter boots on the car. Okay, I got you. Preparing for the snow. What's going on, brother? No, don't worry about it, man. Catch me on the playback. So yeah, guys, that's all I really have. If you have any other questions, I might do another live and we might talk about this. Matter of fact, we're building a panel, like I said, in 2025. Me, Travis, I don't know who, Trap Vision 3D, his name is Travis. I don't know who else he's looking to have on there. The schedule is gonna be about twice a month. We're gonna go up on his channel. I don't know if it's his channel, my channel. It doesn't matter. What matters is that I find value in doing that, whether it's his channel or my channel, because I think the community would love to hear the thoughts of multiple watch reviewers or multiple watch enthusiasts that are doing this, right? We gain more when we have a panel and we have a wider discussion. And I think that that's most important in the community right now, especially when it comes to the smaller channels coming together. In my opinion, I feel like that is more of an important thing. Just so like that we can see who's got the fresh aspect, who's got this and that, and we don't have the strings. We don't have the strings. No shade being thrown, just saying. Sorry, I'm late. Read that. Snow, where you at, bro? Been a great conversation. Thank you, thank you. All I wanted. That explains it. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it, man. I've been on here for a minute. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. I think this is a very important conversation. If you're watching this on the playback, let me know, man. It's important to hear your thoughts. Like, that's why I did this. I wanted to hear the thoughts of the community on the subject matter from my perspective and my experiences. So if you're watching this on the playback, man, be a part of the conversation too. I appreciate you guys for checking out the live segment here today. And please do not forget that it all started with a watch. No matter where your watch journey collection, no matter where your watch collection journey takes you, no matter how you decide to collect, you guys are all welcome on this channel and in this community, as you should be. I appreciate you guys spending your most valuable thing in your life, which is time with me. I hope to see you guys soon. Have a lovely weekend if I don't see you before then.